So one of the most traditional Ushiro openings that we've been taught, especially at the Aikido Center, was to slide in and back in this V shape, right? So if you have somebody coming forward towards you, right, whether it's Ryokatatori or Takubatori, we would slide in and offline to where your feet are together, and then the whole backside of your body would shift forward, right? But you still have to maintain ears over shoulders over hips until it's something where you need to drive the person's body weight around and forward. In which case, then you do press off from your back foot on that last step forward, and you shift your weight and bring them all the way around to get that extra little spin of power. So from here, if you're facing the person this way, and if they don't know that they're supposed to be attacking to go around, if you're too front facing here, it looks like a wrist grab from the front, right? So you almost have to kind of show the side of you a little bit more, right? To where you're like kind of enticing to where you're gonna wanna create an opening for them to come around behind you, right? So the common mistakes that we have all run into, we've all done it, is allowing our arms to get trapped behind us. But if you think about pressing Tekatana down towards your feet with your fingertips up, right? As you're shifting your weight, you're going to move and keep your hand right in front of your whole torso, almost like right in front of your lower ribs. And then as you shift forward, you're still keeping your hands in front here, right? So without letting them get this hand and get behind you, right? You're creating this opening, you're creating this timing, shift your weight back, and then shift your weight forward, right? If your arm is too far away from you here, they're not gonna be able to grab it. So this has to be a unified movement where you're shifting your whole side forward at the same time to where your hand is still in a place or your shoulder is still in a position where it could be grabbed, right? So if somebody's trying to get to wrist and wrist, it would be 1 and 2, right? The ukemi for that would be moving in, grabbing 1 and 2. So thinking about that for the Tai Sabaki, right? You can come with me and we'll move in, gather everything up, and then taking this whole back side of you, shift your weight forward, right? So from here, different view, I'm moving back and offline, shifting the weight forward. Okay, from here, this would be back and offline, shift your weight forward, right? So if we were to turn that into back and offline, shift forward, right? If this is a wrist grab, we would turn, thumb towards your belly. You would be able to grab. If this is Kodagaishi, your thumb turns and goes back towards your belly, like you're going like this, and you're going to grab towards the pinky side of your own hand on their hand, and then big Irimi Tenkan. Good. Now from here, this is where you would turn the hand up, place your hand on top, and then this is a big slide back with the front leg to finish the Kodagaishi. Okay? So from here, it would be offline, shift forward. As you step, you're gonna go to the outside of their hand, step, Tenkan, keep control of the wrist here, bring it up, get out of the way, and finish for the throw. So ultimately this is Ushiro Takubatori, wrist grab, and Kodagaishi for the throw, right? So in and offline, keep it right in front of you without losing your balance. Shift your weight forward, really keeping this center axis very strong. You're going to move this back leg and your hand at the same time, Irimi Tenkan. Get the front leg out of the way to create the opening for their fall, turning and pressing down for the Kodagaishi. Other side. Okay, in and offline, forward, step with the back foot as you place the hand down, thumb down. Your fingers are actually going to go towards their thumb, towards your own thumb. Press down with that Irimi Tenkan. Get the front leg out of the way as you lift that wrist up and finish for the Kotegaeshi. Again, in and offline, step forward, back foot and back hand move at the same time. Irini Tenkan. And then this is a very, very slight movement offline as you create space for them to fall, lifting their hand all the way up and down. Okay? This is where it's really helpful if you have something in your hand that you can see have a vertical axis and then go sideways. So if you have pretty much anything laying around, you know, you can do this with a magazine, you can do this with a pillow, water bottle, a stick if you have weapons with you. You can do this with really anything. Let me see if I have the tonto in here. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna do this with a tonto. Right, so from here, I'm not attacking with this, I'm just going to be using this as what I'm witnessing by the time I get here and I'm going to take the Kotegaeshi, right? So ultimately I'm gonna have it in my back hand for this. So this one is being grabbed, right? And now this side is being grabbed. Because it's in my hand, it's gonna mimic Uke's hand, right? So from here, as I grab their hand and finish my Tenkan, right? Now that slight adjustment of moving the front foot out of the way is where this is going to lift up and turn and cut down. Yes, okay? So from this side, this is in your backhand, whatever it is in your backhand, right? In and offline, step forward, good. Remember your thumb is going to go, your fingertips are going to go all the way towards your own chest. You're flipping your hand around as you take this step forward. Step, Tenkan, right? Good, now from here, you're lifting this up, offline, and pressing it down. Good. Now this would be where it switches hands at this point. This is where you have them on the ground, they're ready for the pin. This hand would go towards the elbow. You would step with the leg that is closest to their head so that you don't leave yourself open here. Shift your weight forward. Get to the other side of the arm, closest to their head and on the back of their shoulder. And then you would do the pin. Okay, so from here, it's in your backhand. Okay, this time, let's switch it up and go offline, shift forward, right? Bring this up to your shoulder as if it was that your shoulders were being grabbed for a Ryo Katatori, right? From here, you would need to put both hands over top of it and you would Tenkan with that front foot, up, right? Then cut down, step forward, and pin. Right, so this time your shoulders are being grabbed, and this is where you're gonna want a little bit more of that movement of shifting your weight because you want them to pop their weight forward, right? So from here, by time they grab this other side, you're going to get underneath their arm by shifting underneath. Tenkan, cut down. You have their hands in front, down, and down for the pin. Okay? So one more time. Shoulder gets grabbed, second shoulder gets grabbed, right? So let's do this with this is in the front hand this time, right? Let's do it with whatever it is in your front hand this time. So in and offline, forward, both hands come to the Sankyo, shift and Tenkan, cut forward, pivot, then down and down. Good. Okay, one more time. Front hand, back and offline, forward, shift your weight forward so that their weight pops forward. This comes up to your shoulder, grab it with both hands, turn towards them so that the elbow goes up in the air, right? And then you're going to cut both of your arms down to where their arm extends this way. And then as you step one knee down, second knee down, that's where the pin is. So the more that we can study the Tai Sabaki of it, the more that we are in control of our weight and we're not trying to juggle hands and legs at the same time. So that's where I really do love the benefit of being able to be, where are my feet in space? You know, where do I actually have to hold my weight? So you can either hold on to this or not, it's totally up to you. But we're gonna move on to Inarimi, right? So this is what this would be if somebody is striking yokomen, right? So your uke is striking yokomen. Our entry for nage is in and offline, right? One hand is coming right here and the other arm is going towards the wrist. So as you slide in irimi, right? From here, hands move together. Ten shin, cut back. Step forward, cut up. Pivot, slide back, cut down. Okay? So this is actually going to be as if you were going yokomen, shihonage, right? So in and offline, slide back, cut down. This is your irimi. You're going back in front of them and your timing has to be arm and leg step and cut up at the same time. Pivot, cut down. And you can, this is where some people cut straight down. Kennedy Sensei likes to cut straight down, and other people like to get to about here and then project forward, right? You see that sometimes in like a lot of Kanai students' class where they'll bring it in front and then shift forward, and they actually raise this heel to where it's very parallel to the front foot, right? That's the way that Claude was teaching it. So by the end of it, once you cut down the shihonage, you push, right? So, in and offline, cut back tension, slide forward, small tenkan, cut down, yes, and then your choice of opening that heel and pushing forward, or you can cut down and then all the way down. Okay, so in and offline. Good. Slide back, cut down. Check your axis, ears over shoulders over hips. Slide and cut up forward at the same time. Pivot. And this is your choice. You can either cut your hands down and push forward. Good. Or from here, you would slide back and turn all the way down. In and offline, slide back, cut up, pivot, slide back, pivot again, and down, down, pin, right? If we were doing the ora for this, this would be in and offline, right? This is a shifting your weight. This is going from here, you're shifting it across your center as you pivot. Then from here, it's a cut up, slide that leg back, pivot, and cut down. Yeah, right? So you're opening the space, bringing it into your center as you shift your weight back to the back leg, pivot, cut all the way out. Then bring it up as you step back, pivot again, and cut down. Okay? So again, you're moving in and offline, bring it down in front of your center, pivot and shift your weight, bring it all the way out in front of you, then lift it straight up, finish your tenkan, cut down. Good. Okay, other side, in and offline, gather the hand, bring it past your own center, right? And the more that you can keep your balance here by bending your knees and shifting your weight, but really keeping this good axis here. That's whenever you're going to shift your weight so that it's a little bit more on the back leg as you lift and cut. Open your back ankle. Practice just opening your back ankle to allow that front foot to slide. And then one more pivot, cut down. Okay? So let's just stop for a second and talk about just the Irimi Tenkan with nothing else. If you think about Irimi Tenkan, you can either get really big, right? Really big, or you can get very, very centralized in your position where this movement has a very small distance between the feet so that you're very conscientious and powerful in the middle. So this is a step forward, cut up, right? Back ankle or front ankle has to turn, and then front foot follows. Back ankle opens, slide your front foot back, right? So as you step forward, cut up, back foot follows to finish your pivot. Parallel, open up to the other hanmi, back ankle opens, slide back, cut down. Okay, so step forward, cut up, pivot, slide back, cut down. Right, and it's a really important practice to think about pushing back with this part of you and expanding in the front. So you're getting really big in all directions. So step forward, cut up, pivot, slide back, cut down. Step forward, cut up, pivot, slide back, cut down. Step forward, cut up, pivot, slide back, cut down. Good, now add that back into the Irimi Yokomen opening of in and off line. Okay, cut the hands down in front, shift your weight, and as you finish your Irimi Tenkan, this is very conscientious in this center turn, very powerful in the center turn. In and off line, cut down, pivot, raise it up as the front leg raises, right? Doesn't have to, this is very dramatic. Doesn't have to go all the way up here, but I want you to see which one's moving first. You're shifting your back ankle open, back, down. In and off line, pass through, back ankle opens first. Okay, other side. In and off line, cut down, pivot, back ankle opens, bring that hand back, pivot, cut down. Okay, same side, in and off line, cut down, across your center, open the back ankle, cut up as you slide back, pivot, cut down. Awesome. All right. All right, so let's see. The next one, we're going to move. This is a Kokido, or Tai no Henko, right? Tai no Henko. But I want you to think about this as where can you really be keeping the heart space forward, shoulder blades drip down your back, and really loosen up in your neck and jaw so that you're not trying to push people around with your arms. You're trusting your movement, and that happens by using this kaiten, right? So it's not just a pivot. You actually need to take up some space. You're entering in, right? You're entering and then bringing that front leg back so that you're getting your distance back again. So kaiten, good. Just practice the kaiten first, kaiten, right? Your pivot point is right here. So kaiten, 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 right? Kaiten, switch sides, kaiten, 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 right? So if we were to turn that initial kaiten into just a big kokyuho throw, right? So, of course, you can use it as a variation on your Tai no Henko if you wanted, right? Do you have their balance? Check, right? But if we wanted to turn it into a real kokyuho, we would take all of this pressure and weight, bring it more, feet together, arms raise up, pivot, slide forward, drop down, okay? Uke would have this passing past them here, and then they would take the fall. So from here, kaiten, then feet together, arms raise up, pivot, slide forward, drop down. Again, kaiten, feet together, arms raise up, pivot, slide forward, drop down. Okay, kaiten, feet together, arms raise up, pivot, slide forward, drop down. Awesome. All right, so variation on that one, we'll go into another, you can use this for Tai no Henko, right? Your tenkan, check your balance. Tenkan, check your balance. Right, your pivot point is right in front, right? You're moving just a little bit to the outside of their front foot. Pivot, check your balance. Again, creating just maybe 1 inch of space to the outside of their front foot. Tenkan, right? Now from here, tenkan, you can still slide back, feet together, arms raised up, slide forward, drop down. Oh. Hello? There we go. All right, we're back. All right, so this is a variation on that kokyuho, but we'll start off with a tenkan first, right? Now, once you go into, you've got uke's holding on like this at this point, right? And once you move into the kokyuho, that has to move. So once we move in, tenkan, right? You're going to go, feet get really close together as you pivot, slide forward, drop down. So uke is really outstretched here, right? And now feet together, arms raise up. Your arms are way out in front, like they're dropping right down on front of me. I would be moving this way and then down. Okay, so this is not one that we commonly do in the Aikido Center, which is totally fine, and that's why it's awesome to train with other teachers too. Because a lot of people teach this from the tenkan. Front leg has to slide out of the way and back as you finish the kokyuho. It's good for you to know both variations, right? So from here, full tenkan, you're taking up tons of space here. Lift up and cut down. Yes. Okay, one more. Tenkan, take up all that space, slide through for the kokyuho. Good. Big tenkan, raise up as you slide back, pivot, drop down. Good. Okay. So another favorite opening for just katatatori, this is still same side grab, but instead of going through kaiten, tenkan, this is irimi, but this is not going straight on the line. This is the irimi that goes in and in front, where uke is this way, and then all of a sudden uke gets turned this way. So you're shifting your weight with the front leg, sliding up and in, offline. Yes, so you're here, and you're moving in and across their center line. So by now, uke is holding on, and they're like this. Right? So as you slide forward and in, slide forward and in, across, right. So you slide forward and in, across my center line,
So I'm going across the center line, right? I'm not going out, I'm going...
Right, so if you're here, can you see that? No? Not enough? Right, if that's the center line, okay? And you're grabbing, I'm grabbing here, right? You're coming towards me, and you're gonna make my contact point right here go this way. So you're actually going to be moving from here, right? From here across my center line. Yes. Right? So here. Yes.
So this isn't a cross-hand grab. This isn't cross-hand. This is same side, but you're crossing the center line to get them off, and that's how you're getting them off balance.
Yeah, yeah, and with Uke being completely committed to holding on, right? If this is here, this is the arm, right? I'm holding on here. If this shifts past my center, this leg is going to have to move out of the way. So I'm still holding on here, right? And once it gets pushed into my center and past it, I have to adjust. Right, so I'm holding on. You guys use your right side, right? So face the camera and go on your right side and slide in and past me. Right. Try the other side. Right, and you're going in and past me, right? Right. So this is a scoop up from your center, right? This is a scoop up from your center. This is something that's a very, very subtle, very conscientious movement. Harvey likes to teach this a lot. It's another little weight shift of turning your hips a lot, right? Move forward from your hips. And if Uke is really holding on and being committed right here, they're going too, right? From here, shift. Right. Right. Good. So to show you the same thing with the Tenkan, right? As if you were, I'm still holding on to you, you guys face this direction. Okay, you all face this other side. Okay, so if I'm holding on and you Tenkan, I'm gonna end up where? Here, right? From here, you Tenkan, you're next to me at this point, and I'm down low, right? So your motion here would be, and I'm following. You should end up in the same direction that I'm facing, right? Okay? So start from this side, Tenkan, right. There you go. All right, so we're gonna end with our version of what we can actually do with Kokidoso right now. So come all the way down. Yeah. Perfect. So there's a couple pieces of this that are really, really important. And one of the things are, I mean, it takes both sides, right? It takes the Uke being very committed to holding on, and it takes the Nage being able to actually move them with real intention. So the Nage side, feet down behind you, ears over shoulders over hips, and as you shift your weight back, you're pressing into this like you're leaning into a couch or something where you can just kind of sit back and you know that you're supported, so that you don't try to tense up your legs and lift everything up with you. You're trying to expand and get really big here, but you only want to let your arms go about so far, right? You want to lift your uke like this. So bringing your hands too close, they're going to be right on top of you. So scoop, take up all this space for yourself by pressing your legs down and into the ground, pressing your back into the space behind you, and then pressing out with your hands, right? So inhale up, right? You lift on your toes for just a second. And to be able to pin, it takes one little Shiko step where both feet move underneath you and then settle that knee down, cut down. Right. So back down, up, okay. And the practice here really requires you to really check to see if you're bringing your hands too close to your own face. So if you're really holding on to something, you know, you're going to be able to tell if there's a shape that's moving too close to your face. You're not going to want it there. So if you're holding on to something here and you cut up, cut it down, right? Good. Okay. So from here, feet flat down, pressing up, cut out and down. Good. Right? So start here first, now cut out and down. Really trying to keep ears over shoulders over hips to stay very balanced. Okay, the uke side of that. This is also really, really good core practice. And we've done this before, you know, in a rhythm with partners where uke gets lifted up, right? That little side step happens. What happens to uke? They lift up, they move out to the side, they drop down. Both feet go up in the air. Come back to center. All the way up, drop down, feet go up in the air, and back to center. Okay? They lift up, we lift up as uke. We lift up, we start to shift out, drop down, both legs go up, bring your legs back underneath you. Okay? Lifting up, you start to feel your shoulders shift. You can still, I'm sure it's starting to, your legs probably moving naturally because you've done this before, and if you haven't, I definitely suggest starting to let this shoulder and this leg live in the same spaces, right? As soon as you feel this start to take your weight, start to move that leg with it. Allow it to bring you closer to the ground, both legs up, come back to center, bring it back underneath you. Okay, so you're starting feet flat, grab, you feel your center lift up, you feel that shift happening, drop down, both legs up, come back to center. Okay? All right, up, out, down, up, back to center. Out, over, down, up, back to center. Up, out, down, back to center. Okay? So there's another variation of that where you've got your legs out in front, right? From here, drop down, out, here, drop down, out, here. This is just without this part, right? So if you need to eliminate that part, just to find something a little bit more accessible, you can use this shape, keep your arms round, drop down, kick out two, back to center, kick out two, back to center, kick out two, back to center, right? It's just another option. So the last thing that we'll do is just some cool down, right? So if you just want to find a space on your back, drop your legs out in front of you, and just find your way all the way down to the mat or the ground, carpet, wherever you're at. Okay, lift your right leg up towards your chest, wrap both hands around your knees and hug it into your chest. Keep your top foot flexed and your bottom foot flexed. Taking your left hand to the top of your right knee, extend your right arm out to the side, and then start to take your right knee towards your left shoulder, keeping your feet flexed still. Some big deep breaths here. Turn just a little bit more to the side. And you can expand that stretch as far as you need to. If you want to drop all the way down to 90 degrees, that's fine. Come back through center. Drop that leg all the way out. And then bring in the other side. So you got left leg towards left shoulder. And now bring it across your center line. Pointing left knee towards right shoulder. Extend your left arm out. You take that as far as you need to, or not as far, doesn't matter. You're just going before you find your edge, breathing into the hard work that you did today. And bring that leg all the way back through center and just squeeze it into your chest. Now bring both knees into your chest and wrap both arms around. Okay? And now using the same position that you would for rocking forward from a back fall, let one leg get a little closer to the ground and just start to kick your hips up in the air and drop down, up in the air and drop down, and then let one knee drop further than the other and come up to a seat. Okay? All right, my friends, we are at the end of today's class, so I just want to say thank you so much for everything. So, just gonna unmute you guys. All right. Domo arigatou gozaimashita. My friends, minasan arigatou gozaimashita.